Siakam and Haliburton leading the Pacers past the Bucks 123-115. They take a 2-0 series lead. We obviously can talk about Dame and his return and what you thought he looked like, but where do you want to start, Pacers or Bucks?
I kind of want to start at the start. I thought the Bucks were looking to get everybody involved. I mean, Doc Rivers said in between these two games, because Tayshaun Prince and Kyle Kuzma put up offers, he said it's kind of hard to score when you don't touch the ball.
You called him Tayshaun.
Tayshaun, yeah. Tayshaun, because he was on Memphis's bench, right? He's an assistant coach, is he not? I've seen him. Anyways,
Taurean Prince will never supersede Tayshaun Prince in anyone's mind.
Taurean Prince was brutal.
Yeah, they may be doing better if Tayshaun Prince was playing.
He did it 1-3, but
he hit a couple threes, but he also can't run a fast break.
Yeah, he needs
I'm
to be on the
convinced
bench.
Giannis was gonna like kill him.
Yeah,
he botched 2 or 3 fast breaks where Giannis was running with him, and he made the wrong decision every time. But
Taurean Prince never played until he found Darvin Ham, and now he plays all the time. Doesn't make sense. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
he wasn't good when he played for the Hawks here. And now this guy starts in the playoffs for multiple teams. Doesn't make any sense. The Bucks have a starting lineup problem. They have 3 guys who should probably be on the bench. I think Lopez is the biggest offender because the dude is just so slow. Yeah. You saw last night, anytime Haliburton saw him on a switch, he's like, I'm going to the hoop. Haliburton had a dunk in the half court last night. Have you ever seen that? No, he had so many layups.
He had a score when he just brought the ball up. I mean, after a dead ball.
It was so easy for Haliburton and for all of the Pacers last night. They started Damian Lillard because he was back, but the Giannis, Lopez, Kuzma, Prince, whoever the point guard is, so far in this series, they've played 35 minutes. They're a -23. The net rating is a -31.5. Literally, the Bucks cannot keep up with the Pacers speed-wise. Kuzma was trying to guard Haliburton. It's like a Kuzma-Lopez pick and roll. How can you possibly think that's going to work defensively?
I know.
But they'll probably all 3 start again in Game 3. That's how Doc Rivers does it. He never changes his starting lineup.
Especially with Darvin Ham sitting right beside him. We got to stay Prince.
Yeah.
Got to keep him in there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, obviously the Pacers just had so many guys perform. I mean, I know I wanted to talk about the Bucks, but we really should be giving some freaking credit to this multi-talented team. Like, they had 6 guys in double digits: Siakam, Haliburton, Turner. Another step back for Miles Turner. Back-to-back games. Aaron Nesmith, Mathurin, Nembhard, beautiful bounce on his 3. Obi Toppin at single digits, but you could just see how talented he freaking is. That baseline cut when Damian Lillard wasn't looking, that lefty finish into Giannis's chest, and he had to finish it around him. I mean, a beauty 3 from the corner. That was a hard shot for Obi Toppin. They're awesome. There is no doubt about that. And they continuously produce. The weird thing is, why I want to start with the beginning of this game, is why that Bucks team just allowed the Pacers to keep scoring. Because Doc Rivers said he definitely was focused on getting Kyle Kuzma involved. First possession, Giannis dribble handoff. And they were paying enough attention to Giannis that the Kuzma layup was freaking easy. He missed. Second possession, Giannis again to Kuzma, right at the rim. He missed. Brook then stumbled and bumbled and dropped one. So they were down 8-0, just like that. Now, Giannis did get more passes. Like, he only had 1 assist in Game 1. He had 3 in his first run of 8 minutes in Game 2. But it took a long time. And you could see Giannis was gassed, unfortunately. Like, he continued to produce, but you could see how, I mean, a few minutes left in the second quarter, Haliburton got past Giannis for one of those dunks. Lillard didn't help either, and then he couldn't stop a Miles Turner hook. He had a couple travels in this game. I mean, they got it going late, and they made it a 1-possession game. But I don't know how Kuzma and Portis didn't get out to Pascal Siakam. He just had an open shot. He had an open 3 with 2 minutes left in this game. So there was just there's a bunch of miscommunications, and so that hurt them, obviously. Maybe Lillard gets better. I mean,
he's not going to get better defensively is the problem. He probably will be better on the offensive end. He looked rusty for sure. It was good that he was out there. Like, it gives Milwaukee a little bit more depth. They're a little bit scarier on offense, but you could tell he didn't have his legs. I think he made 1 shot in the second half of this, and it was that late 3. They put him within 2, and then, for whatever reason, they run a play to get Kuzma a shot in Brick City, of course. But on the defensive side, like, they target him if he's dribbling if he's the main defender for whoever's handling the ball, cannot guard point of attack. And you're talking about all these back cuts and Indiana punishing mistakes. A lot of these are Dame Lillard mistakes, if we're being honest. They're trying to scram switch him out of the way, and every time that happens, Obi Toppin just goes for a backdoor alley-oop. Yeah. They completely lost the Pacers after the second action. Milwaukee was doing a fine job guarding like the first screen and roll, the second screen and roll, but then once they got into the last 10 seconds of the shot clock, Indiana never stops moving the ball, and they never stopped moving their players. Lillard was just losing track of guys, and he gave up more points certainly than he did scoring points, I thought, last night. And you just think about the players that they're putting out there. You watch the Pacers getting these baskets inside, and every time you've either got Lillard shrugging his shoulders, throwing his hands up, or Brook Lopez doing the same.
Yeah. Dame didn't even give an effort at times. Like Haliburton inbounded from his own end, and he was able to get all the way to the rim because Lillard didn't help. He's athletic enough to take one step, but he didn't do it on that situation. And yeah, he didn't help on another Haliburton dunk where Giannis also didn't help. They got tired there. And so, yes, Lillard has to be better. I mean, you can say, a few things. You could say, well, Dame's going to be better in Game 3. I think it'll help if when Dame is better that Giannis will have somebody to get a little bit of gravity from the Pacers defense, or, have caused a little bit of gravity, so the Pacers will have to look at somebody. Kuzma stunk in the first half of this game. He got better. He had 8 points in the second half. He looked better, and obviously you got a Bobby Portis game, so there's
small positives
things
here for sure.
Yeah, Bobby's been their second best player.
Yeah,
they should start him for Brook Lopez. They need to play as many Giannis at the 5 lineups as possible, is what I'm going at. That's the only way they can hang on the offensive end, because I don't think they're ever going to be able to stop the Pacers defensively.
Yeah, and they tried that with the zone that they play. Even in the regular season, they threw out a Kevin Porter and Derry Bird / Derry Trent and Bobby Portis to surround Giannis, and it worked. It worked at times.
Yeah, they may want to try that a little bit more back in Milwaukee. I just thought the Pacers, like the rhythm offensively, whether it was against the zone, whether it was against man, they had it going. They were up 31-16, like through 7.5 minutes. And I will say, the Bucks, like there was a part where I thought they could have let go of the rope, and they didn't. And it was like they sort of were led by their vets. I mean, Giannis had a monster line. We knew that heading into the series. It felt like 1 versus 6 or 7 guys. Like what's going to come out on top? Is it the super duper star in Giannis, or this really incredibly well balanced Pacers team? So far it's Indiana. But they sort of like kept it close. I think it was 68-60 at the half, so they were like within it. But I love the Pacers. Every time they have a good shot and they're like, nah, we can get a better shot. Mm-hmm. Like there was like in the second half when they started on fire there, it was Haliburton picking them apart. And it was like he had an extra pass with like later in the game, 6 minutes to go in regulation. He was wide open for a corner 3. He could have taken it. And he's like, no, Obi Toppin, who can't miss from the corner, over the last little stretch, I'll just give it to him. And it was like a better shot, just a better shot, better, closer 3-point shot. Like stuff like that, little things. Like
that's the Haliburton effect.
Totally.
The guy makes the simple pass every single time. And it filters down to the rest of the team.
I agree. And that thing was pinging around. When they had good shots they could have taken, and instead they just settled for a better one. But yeah, close game. You said that Dame 3 got it to 2 points?
Yeah.
Suddenly 115-113 after Bobby hit a couple threes, but then Siakam with that 3, and then Nembhard with the huge 3 over Giannis trying to close out him. Like that was a hell of a step back there from Nembhard, who's continued to play really well through these first 2 games.
Mm-hmm.
He's a playoff riser, absolutely.
Yeah.
17 points, 5 assists, 2 steals in game 1, 17 points, 6 assists, 3 threes in game 2. He hits clutch shots when they're open. He brings ball pressure, which throws the opposing team off. I really like the way Nembhard plays. And then, man, Siakam is awesome.
Yes.
This guy is doing everything for the Pacers. 24 points, 11 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals, 2 threes, including the dagger late. He initiates the offense. He finishes plays. He hits wide open threes. He runs the court. He defends. Like, he's not outplaying Giannis Antetokounmpo, but he's making it a pretty fair fight.
Yeah.
Like Giannis is having a great series, but he's not having a superlative series compared to Siakam. Siakam has been incredible. Maybe he's been the best pacer through these 2 games, though. I just like the verve that Haliburton plays with, and the way he plays energizes their offense. But Siakam has been exactly what they wanted when they traded for him last year.
We had Haliburton and Dame getting into it once again here in Game 2. Both time in uniform. Obviously, Game 1, Dame was in street clothes, but they were talking some crap. That was near the end of the game, and we also had double text, I guess, on Siakam and Bobby Portis Jr. We had Gary Trent was it Gary Trent Jr. throwing Siakam down earlier in the game, and that sort of got a little brouhaha going. So, look, I love how they're openly talking like after these games, like, we hate them. They hate us.
Yeah.
This is great.
Good rivalry.
It should continue here. I don't see why it wouldn't, when especially Game 3 where Milwaukee has to win to have any chance to still win this series.